What's up guys, Groovy Guitar Dude here with a beginner guitar tutorial for Don't Check On Me by Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, and Ink. If this video helps you out, hit that like and subscribe button and let me know down in the comments below what are the songs from any of these awesome artists that you want to learn on guitar. Guys, the first thing that you want to know to play Don't Check On Me on guitar is that in order to keep the song as beginner friendly as possible, we're going to capo up to 3rd fret. And if you don't have a capo, I'll have a link to get this capo for free right up here. The next thing we usually go over is the structure of a song, but we're actually just going to repeat the same exact picking progression through the entire song, so we don't need to worry about the structure for this one. And the last thing we would usually go over before we dive into a song is the chords we would need for it, but this one again is just a picking pattern that repeats through the entire song, so we actually don't have any chords that we need to know for this one. And with all that in mind guys, let's dive into Don't Check On Me. Man, I am so stoked for this song. It's so cool to see these guys doing something that's so just like stripped back and simple like this. It's just guitar through the entire song, which you don't see a lot in pop music these days, especially with artists like this. A lot of times Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, their stuff is very poppy or R&B and very produced, and this is just very dialed back, and I like that a lot, and so I'm stoked to share it with you guys. So guys, with that in mind, like I said, there is just one picking progression that plays through the entire song, the whole entire song on repeat, the whole thing. So let's start taking a look at that picking progression. This is going to be a finger picking pattern, and so what we're going to do is we're going to start here with an open A string, and then we're going to hit an open B string, and we're going to hammer that onto 2nd fret. And then we're going to open it back up and play another open B string. And then we're going to go to this shape right here, which is going to be an open low E, a 2nd on D, and a 1st on G. And we're going to pick all 3 of those strings at the same time, just like that. And then we're going to go open low E, and then 1st G, and then 2nd D. And that's it. That's our first little section there. And what that sounds like all together is about like this. We've got open A, open B, hammer onto 2nd, open B, and then we have our little shape there. So open low E, 2nd D, 1st G, and we've got open low E, 1st G, 2nd D. Just like that. That's our first shape. And what's kind of cool about this song is that part pretty much repeats 3 times. There's a little change in the second part. We'll get there in just a second, but that pretty much repeats 3 times before we have any major changes in our picking pattern. So first time through looks like that. Second time through will look like this. We're going to go open A, open B, hammer onto 2nd, open B, and then we're going to have that same little shape there. Again, we're going to have our open low E, 1st G, 2nd D, all at the same time. Then we're going to go open low E, and this is where that little change comes in. So the second time through, we're going to hit our G string 1st fret, but we're going to hammer it onto 2nd with our ring finger, and then we're going to pull it back off to 1st again really fast. So we'll go about like that. So one more time through that, we got our open low E, 1st G, we're going to hit that, and then hammer it onto 2nd, and then pull it back off to 1st fast. And then we'll hit that 2nd D again. Just like that. And that's going to be the second time through. That's the only thing that changes, is we're just going to have that little hammer on thing there. The third time we go through that, the last time we go through that little section, is just going to be exactly the same as the first time. So we have, again, open A, open B, hammer onto 2nd, open B, and we have that little shape there, low E, open, 1st G, 2nd D, and then we have open low E, 1st G, 2nd D. And that's the third time going through that. So like I said, first and the third time through that are the same, and then the second time we add that little hammer-on pull-off thing on that G string towards the end of the progression. And this is where it'll change up a little bit from that section we've been repeating. We're going to hit 2nd on A and slide it up to 4th. And then we're going to go 1st on D and 2nd on D. And then next we're going to go 5th on low E, and we're going to slide it up to 7th. And then we're going to go 6th A, and then 7th A and 4th G at the same time. Just like that. One more time through that last little section with those slides there. We're again going to hit A, 2nd fret, and slide it up to 4th. And then 1st D, 2nd D. And then we're going to go up to low E, 5th fret, and slide it up to 7th. And then 6th on the A string. And then 7th on the A, and 4th on the G string at the same time. And And that is it, guys. That is your entire picking progression. And that is just going to repeat through, like I said, literally the whole entire song over and over again through the entire song. Beautiful picking progression. And like I said, I really dig it because it's just really simplified and cut back for these artists. So I want to run through that one more time with you guys, just walk you through it really slowly one more time, all the way through the picking progression. And then we'll walk through it slowly together a couple of times and play along with it. And then we'll play it through a couple of times full speed so you can match it up with the speed of the song. So first, a little slow, one more time walk through all the way through that will look like this. We're going to hit an open A string, and then we're going to hit open B, hammer onto second, and then open B again. And then we're going to have this shape here. We're going to do open low E, first G, second D at the same time. And then we're going to go open low E, first G, second D. Then that's our first little section. We repeat it again. We're going to go open A, and then open B, hammer onto second, and then open B. Then we have our shape again. We're going to go open low E, first G, second D, all at the same time. And then we go open low E, and then this is where that little hammer on thing comes in. We're going to go first on G, hammer on to second on G, pull off, and then we're going to go second D, and then we're going to do that again. We're going to go open A, open B, hammer on to second, open B, and then we're going to have that shape again. Open low E, first G, second D, all at the same time. Open low E, first G, second D. And this is where our slides come in. We're going to do second on A string, slide to fourth. First on D. Second on D. And then we're going to go fifth on low E, slide to seventh. Sixth on A. Seventh on A, and fourth on A at the same time. I'm sorry, fourth on G. And that is it, guys. That is your whole progression there. I got a few little mistakes in there, but I think you guys get the gist of it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to walk through that a couple of times very slowly, just play along and stuff, just so you can get it down. It's not super fast, actually. It's a pretty slow little picking progression, but it does take a minute to get your fingers used to it. So I'd recommend starting this progression slowly and working on practicing it before you try to get it full speed, try to get it down slowly. That's exactly what I did for this one as well, to get it down. So with all that in mind, guys, a couple of times through this progression that was going to repeat all the way through Don't Check on Me slowly will look about like this. And guys, a couple of times full speed through the picking progression that'll repeat all the way through Don't Check on Me will look about like this. And guys, that is everything that you need to know to play Don't Check on Me on guitar. As always, if you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments down below. I'm usually pretty quick getting back to those. And again, if this video helps you out, hit that subscribe button. I have about 695 other guitar and ukulele lessons on this channel, and I usually try to post at least 3 to 5 new lessons every single week. So if you're learning guitar or a ukulele, there cannot be a more perfect channel for you to check out. If you want to see what song I'm jamming on today or pictures of my dog, you can hit up my Instagram story at the Groovy Guitar Dude. Link for that will be in the description below. Guys, I am so stoked to be sharing this song with y'all. This This is such a beautiful song, and it's so cool to see artists like this that are very much like in the pop and R&B genre doing something that's a lot more stripped back and not very like produced and processed. This is just guitar and vocals, and it's super cool because there's not a lot of like really popular songs that are like that right now, especially from artists like these ones. And so I was so stoked when I heard this that it's just that simple. It's just guitar and vocals. I love that. As far as the guitar for this is a little bit tricky. It's a little bit funky to get your fingers used to and stuff. There's some weird shapes and some weird movements and stuff. But what's cool is that this is pretty repetitive. So like once you get it down once, it's really the same thing through the whole song. And the other thing too is that it's not super fast. Most of this picking is pretty slow, and it's pretty easy to get down once you got it down. So again, with any kind of picking pattern, I always say this when we're learning stuff like this, start by learning it really slow. Just play along with the very slow version of it that I showed you earlier. Just play along, practice about that speed, and once you get it down really well at that speed, then you can start working on speeding it up. And that'll make it much easier. If you try to tackle this full speed right away, you'll probably just be like, oh, no way, can't do it, or something like that. That's like whenever I try to tackle a song like this full speed right away without playing it slowly first, that's kind of my mindset. I'll like be like, this is too hard, I'm not gonna deal with it right now. And so anyways, start slow, build it up your speed. That will help a lot. So guys, I had a lot of fun learning this song. I hope you guys have a lot of fun learning it as well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.